Hi everyone, this is Melissa, Artist in Residence for Imagine Crafts, and today I'm going to be showing you two techniques using firework sprays to get very unique kind of looking backgrounds for cards. I'm going to be using New Sprout, Cottage Ivy, and Dandelion for the yellowish green card that we'll be creating. You can see the beautiful shimmer you get from the firework sprays. And then for the blue one, I'll be using Danube Blue, Summer Sky, and Bahama Blue, and you get more of a marbly kind of look to this technique. So I wanted to show you both of those. I'm starting with Bristol Smooth paper. This technique works better, I believe, on the Bristol Smooth than any other paper that I've tried. I've tried watercolor paper and it works. You just don't get the vibrant white that you get with the Bristol Smooth. So what you'll see me doing here is just taking my sprays and shaking them up to get all the mica off of the bottom of the bottle and all dispersed, because that will really give you the beautiful shimmer in your creations. And I simply spray it on. But I do take a paper towel for this technique and quickly soak up any of the ink. And the reason I do this is because you'll get really smooth transitions this way. If you allow the ink to just sit on the paper and 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 kind of move it around, try to dry it with a heat tool, that doesn't really work. You'll get a very different look. So I just go back and add some more color. I even pull some color off of my mat, as you saw, and then I quickly soak it up with a paper towel. And then you get this very smooth, beautiful transition of color. So that's if you want a smooth background. Now for this technique, I take my Bristol Smooth paper and I spray it with water first, and then I start adding the fireworks spray. And you can see, because there's water down there, the spray reacts a little bit differently than it did when there was nothing on the paper. But what you're doing in this technique is you're kind of oversaturating the paper with the fireworks spray and then simply using your heat tool to move that color around. And you can see it runs and it drips, and that's exactly what you want. It's okay if there's a lot of color and water on this paper, because it'll really help get more of a marbling technique than you do with the other one. Now in the video, I only do one coat, but you can add more to get more of that marble. And the cool thing about the fireworks sprays is that when they're dried like this, because of the running and dripping, a lot of times where those drips are, you'll get the heaviest color of that mica, and that really aids in making it look like a marbled kind of background. So the next thing I'm going to do is actually take my spritz bottle and spritz larger drops of water onto the Bristol Smooth paper. And if you don't have a spray bottle, that's okay. Just use a paintbrush and kind of tap the paintbrush against your hand, and you're going to get these really beautiful big drops. And I love fireworks sprays because they react so well with the water that when you pull them up with a paper towel, look at that gorgeous white. Now, again, you won't get the same reaction on watercolor paper. You will get drops, but they're not as bright white. And I think that's just because the Bristol Smooth doesn't necessarily absorb the colors into the paper. So now I took a fine mist spray and also sprayed it, and you get this really fine white dots. I just love it. It's beautiful. It adds a lot of texture to your card and background. And I think that it works well with the fireworks sprays, better than most inks I've tried, actually. So I'm going to dry these up, because the next thing I want to do is just take the inks themselves, or the sprays themselves, and add some splashes to the background. And so in order to do that, I want both cardstocks to be very dry. So in this case, I'm going to take the Danube Blue and I'm going to shake it up, and then just take the applicator end and tap on it, and you get these beautiful splashes that add to the color. Now, I'm going to set that to the side, and then I will use my heat tool to kind of dry it up a little bit, and doing that kind of just quickens the process. But in the next one, in the yellow and green background that I make, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let it sit and air dry, and I'll show you why. Isn't that beautiful, that background? I think it looks so gorgeous. So now for this one, I'm actually going to take the dandelion. You might think to yourself that the dandelion doesn't give you good color, but look at it. It's almost gold. It is so gorgeous, and it's because of those that shimmer that's in the fireworks sprays. So again, I'm just going to use the same technique, dab it off, and I'm going to let it air dry. over time. You can see the two on the top are the two that I created for you now, and the other two are the ones that I created previously just as a demo for you. So let's take a closer look at that yellow as it dries. You can see where it's wet still, it looks very yellow, but if you look here where there's that yellow and then the part that's dried, it's really gold. Oh my gosh, it looks so pretty on there and it adds such a beautiful touch. So if there's any spray that I recommend getting to add beautiful splatter to background, it's the dandelion yellow. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial on how to make fun backgrounds for your card and that you'll join us again on Imagine for more tutorials and great projects. Thank you and have a great day.